Welcome back. This is part 2, 4.3, 4.4 combined. This is our process. Let's put it into action. Okay, first we're just starting with fractions, and this is really should just be review. The least common denominator is 30. How do I know that? Well, the prime factorization of 5 is just 5 times 1, all right? 6, 2 times 3, and 15, 5 times 3. So my least common multiple needs to use every prime. So I need a 2, I need a 3, and I need a 5, because those are the 3 primes I see, and each one only occurs one time. So there is my least common multiple, which is the least common denominator. And once you find it, then you have to rewrite your fraction. So I want everything to have a denominator of 30. So I see 3/5. What do I need to multiply this 5 by? I need to multiply it by a 6. So I better multiply the top by a 6 too, because this is equivalent to 1. So that's how I get a denominator of 30 here. What about this term? Well, 1 over 6, if I need to turn this 6 into a 30, I better multiply it by 5. So now I'm multiplying by this fraction, 5 over 5, which is equivalent to 1. And the last fraction, which is 13 over 15, I want to turn this denominator into 30, so I multiply it by 2. Anything I do down there, I have to do up top. In other words, I can only multiply by something that's equivalent to 1. So that's why I multiply by 2. Now, once we do that, we end up with these equivalent fractions, and we can proceed with 18 plus 5 minus 26 all over 30. What would that be? Well, 18 plus 5 is 23 minus 26 over 30, which is what? Negative 3 over 30. Can I simplify this? Yes, because I have negative 3 over 30. This is negative 3 times 1 over 3 times 10. So the 3's cancel, and I'm left with negative 1 over 10. And that's worked out for us here. Okay, so the reason we did that is so we can now do it with rational expressions. Right, so this, let's see, this example is worked out for us, so I'm just going to talk our way through it. Here, I need to find the least common multiple of these 3 numbers, 10, 15, and 18. And it's not immediately obvious to me what it is. So here's my prime factorization. 10 is 2 times 5. 15, 3 times 5. 18 is 2 times 3 times 3. So to get my least common multiple, I need to use every prime. So I'm going to need to use 2's, 3's, and 5's. I'm going to use it the most times I see it in any number. So how many 2's do I want? Well, there's only 1. So that's 2 to the first power. How many 3's do I want? I see 2 3's here, so I need 2 of those. How many 5's? I have 1 5. So this is going to be 2 times 9 times 5, or 90. That's my least common denominator. And now I just change each of these denominators into 90 by multiplying by the appropriate term numbers. So how would I do this? Okay, let's start down here. X plus 3. If I'm going to turn 10 into 90, what am I going to multiply by? Maybe I'll do this in a different color. I need to multiply 10 times 9, right? So I multiply my numerator times 9. Let's get a little more room. Now, how do I turn 15 into 90? What do I need to multiply 15 by? Well, you can use your calculator, or you can look here. Here's 90, and here's 15. So 90 divided by 15 would give me a 2 and a 3. See what we have? I don't know if that makes sense to you what I did there. I said 2 times 3 squared times 5, which equals 90, divided by 3 times 5, which equals 15. This is useful if you don't have a calculator. Leaves me 6. So I need to multiply this by 6 over 6. Then I have 18. How do I turn 18 into 90? Let's see. 18 is 2 times 3 squared. So if I divide 90 by 2 times 3 squared, I'm left with 5. And you can use your calculator, of course. So what I'm doing is I'm taking 90, dividing it by 18, and that gives me 5. All right, now I know that all the denominators are 90, so I just need to be careful when I do this step. I have 9 times x plus 3 plus 6 times 2x plus 1 minus 5 times x minus 2. Now, get rid of parentheses. 9x plus, don't forget this step, 27 plus 12x plus 6 minus 5x. What's this last one going to be? Minus 5 times minus 2 plus 10 all over 90. And now what do you want to do? We want to combine like terms. So I have 9x plus 12x minus 5x, which you can do in your head or with a calculator. That should be 16x. And now combine your numbers. 27 plus 6 is 33 plus 10. Oops, wait, I did something wrong. 27 plus 6 is 33 plus 10 is 43 over 90. You should ask yourself, are there any common factors? And I don't think so. I think 43, I believe this is a prime number. Maybe not. Maybe I should check. So here It's all done for us. Now, okay, we're ready for homework examples. And that one was kind of like a homework example. So I'm going to do some of those here without pausing. Now we have a common denominator, so all we have to do is carefully combine the numerator. There we go. Are we done? No. Why? Because look, I can factor out that 5. This is equivalent to 1, and that equals 5. So there, we've done a homework problem. Yay! Now, here we do not have a common denominator. What would the least common multiple of 7 and 4 be? Well, in this case, it's just going to be the product, 28. How do I know that? Well, they have no, 7 is prime. So it's the only way you can write 7 is 7 times 1. And 4, of course, is 2 times 2. So we need both prime numbers 2 and the prime number 7. We ignore 1, it's not prime anyway. So that's how I knew. So I'm going to rewrite this. And this is the way I see it. What do I need to multiply this by? I need to multiply it by 4 over 4, right? Because I want to get the denominator to be 28. What do I multiply the second term by? Well, that's going to be 7 over 7. Make sure you use parentheses so you'll remember to multiply both terms by your factor that you need. And so when I look at this, I say, oh, this 7 is missing the 4, and this 4 is missing the 7. So that's what we're doing. So this becomes, everything is over 28 now. From the first term, I get 4x minus 32 plus 7x plus 42. And what's that going to give me? 11x plus 10 over 28. And just by inspection, I know that this cannot be reduced further. Again, one of the reasons is 11 is prime. It's a prime number, and it does not divide 28. So can't do anything further. So what are we looking at here? We have 5x over x minus 5 minus 4, which doesn't seem to have a denominator. So I just like to give it one. Now, what's my least common denominator? It's just x minus 5. So I don't do anything to this first term, but for the second term, I need to multiply the denominator by x minus 5, so I have to do the same thing in the numerator. And you see, this is a fraction that's equivalent to 1. That's why I'm allowed to do this. So now let's see what this equals. 5x over x minus 5 minus 4x minus 20 over x minus 5. Now, caution. This minus sign applies to this entire numerator. So the next step, when we write it all over x minus 5, looks like this. 5x minus 4x plus 20. Now, what is that going to be? That's going to be, combine these, x plus 20 over x minus 5. So these are not a lot of fun, but they're not overly difficult. You just need to be patient and careful. So we'll pause and come back and finish the homework in part 3.